Okay, got it in place. Oh, why that alarm was going off? That's weird. Okay, let me get this next thing set up, everyone. That's good, that's good, that's good. Everything is good to go. I need to get my gloves. I think that this is set up fine, so we shouldn't have a lag. Awesome. Let's go head on out that way. You know what? Just to be safe, I am going to also bring today my battery charger so that I've got it with me, so that if because it's gonna take me a little longer today to feed everyone because Lisa's not here because I had to take her to North Carolina so she could help her brother. They got a new house, so I'm helping her brother she's helping her brother move and such. So you guys get to look at the ceiling for just a second. That's not exciting. That's a lot more exciting. Put this in my pocket. I didn't figure out where I stuck my gloves. I had some gloves. I really thought I brought them in. Ah, no. So be life. No worries. Oh, here they are. On my gloves. Okay, friends. So let's make sure everything's going well. It is. It is spectacular. Not too fraggy. If it is, I'll come back to the house and we'll get everything figured out and established. And I just actually got to leave, go out of my own house because for some reason the door's being silly. Take a quick little peek at the temperature right now. Current temperature is it's about 29 degrees or just under, I'd say negative 1C. Ah, crap. I had clippers. I'm going to try to do some modification of some stuff in just a minute. I forgot the clippers. I forgot my clippers that I'm going to need for this job in the house. Because, that's what you do when you are completely as disorganized as I am today. Pruners, just what I needed. Okay. Probably going to need some duct tape and some other stuff, but I'll worry about all that when I address the issues later. So today, that I think we genuinely should be thinking about and talking about and having honest conversations about. I'm glad that the WHO finally admitted that it's kind of a big deal and something that we should be addressing. We're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about damn bunnies. So we'll probably start off with the damn bunny statement first because it's probably the most important part of everything. Because I'm emailing some people and I'm open for any advice on the damn bunny front. Put my gloves on for just a second, or at least put one glove on here. Yeah, so I'm open for any opinions on the what I should do and how I can address my damn bunny issue. Because I'm not going to get rid of the bunnies. They're going to stay here. They're going to keep free ranging my yard because that's just what I'm going to do. But let me show you. Let me show you what they're doing. So I actually didn't even know what this was called until not too long ago, and I realized that my bunnies were completely decimating my fruit trees. So there's this thing called girdling. Let me show you what girdling looks like. So this is girdling. So as you can see, the damn bunnies have decided to chew up my fruit tree. And they've done it to this one. And we can walk over here to this fruit tree. I'm not even sure I'm going to actually be able to save, which is really sad. But they got that one really good. And yeah, they got a couple other ones. So this one, I'm actually, because of the crazy girdling of this one, I'm not actually sure that this one's savable. But the other ones, I've got some ideas. The ducks are sitting here. I've got some ideas on how to possibly save this big one right here. And then I'll show you the other one that they're doing that on. And I've got some ideas on how to save that one as well. I'll walk over and check out the other one real fast. Yes, damn bunnies. And I love bunnies, but damn bunnies. So this is the other one. I've actually wrapped something around it right now. But that's, at least this one, they haven't got all the way around. So this is actually, this one's probably savable. But yeah, all of that. Trying to do fruit trees and all that kind of good stuff. So, hey, Nathan, lift the veil. Thank you for jumping in. Guys, if you're not following Lift the Veil, make sure you do. If you want a quick link to his channel, just hit !LTV and you'll see his channel. Awesome, wonderful news. Shares lots of great stuff in the evenings or in the late afternoon, depending on where you live. So anyways, that's the damn bunnies issue that I have today that I'm trying to figure out how to address. Luckily, here on DLive, there's some people that know some stuff about trees more than I know, especially like trees that are damaged. And so I'm going to get some advice. I also was doing some researching in my permaculture circles, and some people's given some advice too. So because I have so many trees damaged, I'm probably going to try a bunch of different stuff. Hey, Intense FM, how are you? But yeah, since I've got some different advice from different people, I'm going to try a bunch of different stuff, and we're going to figure out what will fix the issue and what we can solve it with. So that's the thing on the damn bunnies today. So the other thing is we're going to have some honest conversations about. She really likes Celine Dion. Okay, is she a bunny? Anyway, anyways, one of the big things that I've noticed about the Wutang, or what I'm calling the Wutang virus, just because it's just the easiest way for me to remember. I think it is actually Wuhan, but we're calling it the Wutang virus just because it's easy for me to remember. One of the biggest thing is I'm glad now that the WHO is actually making statements about that it is a big deal. Skills, you are absolutely right. Bunnies are cute. Skills, if you've not seen, Skills, did you get to see the baby bunnies the other day? Because I know a lot of people didn't get a chance to see the baby bunnies, and so if not, I'll go grab one right now so you can see one of the baby bunnies, so that we have a. I just have to deal with the dark for just a second so I can get this light plugged in, and I will. If you've not seen them. Okay, so give me just a second, and I will get a baby bunny so you can see. So these baby bunnies were actually out running around, and I had to snag them because they weren't supposed to. They were born by the wild bunnies, or the bunnies that free range around in my yard, and they don't always. If I don't grab them early on when they're young, they don't have a good a life expectancy. We'll step outside so you can see it a lot better. Makes it a little bit easier. So here is one of the little baby bunnies. Here, let me move over to this thing. It's easier if I put it down so it can hop around for a minute. This guy's pretty calm, and I can catch them pretty easily. So there's one of the baby bunnies right here. Yeah, this is about it's probably about a month old or so. So as you can see, about the size of my hand. So I caught these guys running around and didn't want them to get eaten by any wild animals because baby bunnies make lots of bad decisions and such like that. So I snagged two of them. Well, the only two I could catch. I snagged two of them, tricked them, and snagged them, and put them in with some other bunnies. So now they're good to go. So we do this is a we're doing an early bunny watch today, but for those that follow the channel before, this is the bunny watch. This is the little brown or red one, depending on what color variation you think you see. I think he looks, if you look at, I think this one looks a little bit more red. Yeah, bad baby bunny. Yeah, baby bunnies make really bad decisions. Like they see a big wild animal and then they run up to it, not thinking that they're going to get eaten. So yeah, this guy. The good thing is he is actually a little. This one is a little fat, which is good because sometimes you worry about baby bunnies and they don't get enough. They don't choose to eat a whole lot. But this one's pretty plump and pretty fat. I think it's because it moved in with one of the other bunnies that's fat, and so it teaches the bunny bad habits, bad habits and such. So I don't know if you can hear Sylvia in the background. She's mad that the bunny's getting more attention than she is because she wants food. Okay, so I'm gonna put the bunny away now, and we'll go say hi to Sylvia. So, yeah, baby bunny. We'll go say hi to Sylvia next because she's making lots of noises, telling me that she is very hungry. And she doesn't know this, but her electric fence isn't working right now. And so I actually do not want her to get out. So when she makes loud noises, uh, when Sylvia makes yeah, Nathan, that's funny. We've all have bad habits and make bad decisions. So, but most of us have not been eaten by predators because of that. So let's get some quick food. So this particular week, you'll find this. You guys might find this humorous. So the feed place was actually out of pig food. So I ended up having to get goat food, and I'll show you what goat food. Goat food looks just about the same as pig food, except for it's got a little bit more sweet corn and a lot more molasses in it. So, and if those of you that are just tuning in now are not aware, so today is definitely I have to feed all the animals today because Lisa is down in North Carolina. I had to take her down to ended up taking her to Kernsville. My brother met us there because her brother is moving. They just bought a new house. No skills. It's perfectly fine. I want people to always ask questions, and my streams are meant to be completely disrailed every time we have conversations because I throw in the stuff about the other. I throw in all the other stuff just because to try to make it more interesting. But in general, if I would rather talk about animals all day, but some people, sometimes I don't know what questions to answer and things of that sort. So it's nothing that you need to worry about. Okay, so Sylvia is fed, so we are good to go. She should be happier now. If you guys have watched, I got a bunch of ducks just following me around. So we're gonna head over before we start feeding the bunnies. We're actually gonna head on over to we're gonna head on over to get all the ducks some food and such. So that's good to go. But anyways, we'll go back to talking about the Wutang virus. So one of the big things that I've noticed today, and I've been watching it, is I'm not so much worried about the number of people that are infected. I'm actually worried about the number of people that have died and that are positive cures. And that's what's intriguing me the whole lot. And the good news is in the last 2 weeks, I've noted, or sorry, the last 2 days, I've noticed a fairly decent increase of the amount of people that has been cured from it. And so that's becoming a really good thing. I'm noticing more and more people. Um, it's still not, we're not quite at the 50-50 level yet of the people that have died compared to the people that are cured, but the people that have been cured is definitely increasing by a whole lot. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. So because that shows an absolute small increase of people that have been able to survive, and with the cases the cases that we're seeing in China right now. The other thing is, and I'm curious, I've been doing a little bit of research, and I don't know if any of you have came across any of this, and if you have, I'd like this information. I'm trying to figure out if someone of not Asian descent has caught this disease yet, or caught the virus yet. I was doing some research on trying to figure out the folks that were here, like the dude. I think the dude in Chicago that caught it from his wife who was in China. I didn't see the nationality or um, the racial background of that individual. Because the reason I'm saying this is because this would be very telling. If the only type of people that are catching this disease are people with the Asian background, because I read someplace, and I'm not 100% sure how true it is, so that's why I don't immediately jump to believing everything I read on the internet. But I read someplace that they were finding an ACE3 marker in the an ACE3 marker in the code, in the genetic code of the viruses. And an ACE3 marker is usually genetically, in the easiest way possible, that's one of the markers that you usually see that is for particular types of Asian population. Now that could just be because of the way this virus has evolved in the particular area, that when the virus did mutations and the first humans that it got into were Asian, and that's why you'll see that marker in there. That could be the reason. But with some of the interesting information about that woman in Canada and the students about last October with trying to create diseases and such like that, all of that is very interesting to me. And I like to always keep my mind open enough. Everybody's really loud in here today. I also like to keep my mind open enough so that if something like that is a possibility, I'm thinking about it and I'm keeping it there on the back burner, because I like to try to have every possibility open. When I think about things like manufactured diseases or just wild diseases, I just focus mostly on like the two different options and trying to figure out how they could possibly relate. Can I train them to be quiet? Well, here's the thing, like a guinea, and that's a guinea right there. Guineas are one of the loudest things. Guineas are definitely one of the loudest things that we possibly have. So I think I'll go feed the bunnies first, because I just gave all the ducks some food, and bunnies are far more quieter, and so we can actually talk a little bit about this first before we jump over and I have to end up feeding those guys. So here, this guy's funny, just to show you how crazy my backyard is. So we got ducks and chickens, and now bunnies have decided that they're going to jump in and eat some food and such with us. So absolute silliness. So they are great alarm birds. Hey, Skills, have you had, or do you know anybody that's ever eaten guinea? I've never eaten guinea, but I've had some guests that were from, I believe they were from Paris, that were talking about how absolutely great, hi duck, how absolutely great they are. Sorry about that. A duck was stuck. Oh, guineas are spectacular at clearing out ticks. They're good for ticks. They're good for any type of stuff like that. They're also really, really good at killing snakes and other things that you don't necessarily want in your yard. That's one of the reasons I really, really dig them. And gotcha. Yeah, I didn't think you would. I was just curious if you knew anybody if you knew anybody that's had. I'm never gonna eat mine. I was just curious if someone could give me a basic idea of what the taste was like, because that kind of stuff always intrigues me. Um, and I hate that lame term. They taste like chicken, because I don't think too many things actually taste like chicken. What are you doing? Let me show you guys. This bunny's just being really silly. We got a bunny right here that's deciding to just be really silly. She's probably not going to be doing the silly. She was standing under me and she was pushing hay up on my feet. That's why I thought it was really funny. So, so she's not going to do it now. So making a fool of me, making a fool of me. So, anyways, back to what I was saying about the Wutang and the type of people it was affecting. So, I really want to get some numbers, and I really would like to see if it is just affecting a particular type of people. And maybe we don't have any of those yet. Maybe it's just we're still so early on, and because the incubation period is so long with this disease, we don't know so much. I've been asking my friends that know some stuff about viruses and such if they believe that it's already mutated, or if that's just if this is just how the disease has been and such. And they honest how China has not been releasing as much good information as they really should to help us, that they said they didn't know just yet, but they would definitely keep me up to date as we got more information. So, as some of you know, yesterday I had to actually go into, I drove down into North Carolina to drop Lisa off in just outside of Raleigh, Durham. And I did stop at one particular place just because um, Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, that should be addressing, that should fix the problem a little bit. Could you hear anything I was ranting and raving about? So, what I was saying is I was talking a little bit about going to Atlanta and not eating at restaurants and my prep work. I'm not sure if that cut out or anything and I missed any of that. So, regardless, um, when it comes to what the virus is doing and when it comes to stuff like that, I'm really going to be paying a lot of attention to. Okay, so what I was saying was I have to go back down. I have to go back down to North Carolina, or I have to actually have to go down to Atlanta next week, and I'm going to. Well, actually, I have to go. Hopefully, just Charlotte, but Lisa will be down there, and so I'm gonna have to pay a lot of attention to what the weather does. I mean, not the weather, what the virus is doing, and if it's affecting people in the United States, and then from that particular point, I'll decide what my plan of action is going to be. Most likely, um, most likely, I'll probably just go back to wearing gloves and not eat at any restaurants, and just kind of pay a lot of attention to um, where I'm going to go. Probably only use restrooms at rest stops, just because most rest stops, everything is automated. You can walk through automated doors. You don't have doors to open. You're at the urinal. You don't have to hit any handles. You can wash your hands with with hands-free stuff, and then you have the jet dryer, which is hands-free as well. So that's probably what I'll end up doing when it comes to that. And the main reason I'm actually doing this, and I'm not so worried about my health. So I have very firm control over my health most of the time. What I'm what I'm more worried about in things is the folks around me. Being I have some older parents. I mean, they're not super old, but I want to worry about my parents' health. My little brother has seizures, and so I'm worried about fever when it comes to him. And Lisa has asthma problems, and so I worry about asthma and things, since this is directly related to breathing and such like that. So personally, I'm focusing on my health and trying to be as healthy as I can for those around me. And so a lot of the decisions that I'm going to make are going to be for those for those that I know, and not necessarily for me. Because be truthfully honest, like I got '09, I think it was H1N1 when I was in Juneau, Alaska. We were around a bunch of people with some cruise ships and such, and I actually caught that disease, that virus. And that one kicked my ass too. Like that was the last time I think I was really sick, and I had a cough from that for, man, I'd say about 4 or 5 months after that. But that was the last time. Just because of my energy levels. I know for a fact that I'm vulnerable right now because my energy levels have definitely been lower, and I can feel things. I can feel things. I can feel a lot of tension in my body, and I just don't have the type of energy that I should. So I know that I know that personally I'm a little extra vulnerable right now. Oh, bunny, go back up here. So that's just stuff like I'm doing some stuff like I'm drinking plenty of my silver water. I am taking a little bit of oregano drops. Some people said that CBD is pretty good, and since I've got CBD, I'm just taking a little extra of the CBD as well, making sure my vitamin C is nice and high. I'm really paying attention to what I'm eating, and I'm trying not to eat anything that's going to cause any inflammatory. I did make the mistake. I eat a donut last night, good, because I like. Sometimes I like reminders like that, so I know. I remember not to eat the silly things like that again. So, okay, good. The camera's not locking up. and being silly. I'm doing this because I'm not prepping. We will see. Well, wood. I hope it will be the deadliest one we ever see in our lifetime. I hope nothing overshadows this one because I think this one will be able to be easily handled. But I do think that now that it's in India and now that's it's in Sudan, and some of the other places, some of the third world countries that it gets to, I do think that we're going to see a very large increase in the death count. But I do think for us in developed countries or those that have access to really good medicine, I don't think we'll see a high death ratio. I do think we'll see a lot of people infected, though. I'm speculating today based on how I'm seeing the numbers and the information that I'm getting from my friends in China that are sharing the little bit that they can, because there's a lot that they can't share because of the way their social media works. But the information I'm getting from that is I'm at the particular belief that I would say that probably 1 million people are affected right now. So the numbers that you see on my website or the numbers if you follow me on Instagram, um, those numbers that you see posted, those are just official numbers. I think those numbers are small, a small fraction of what is really going on. The biggest thing I'm concerned about with this disease right now is I want to see the death to cure ratio. I want to see that cure ratio just start really outpacing the death ratio. Once that happens, I will start feeling a lot more secure and I will start feeling a lot better at with how this disease and how everything is running through. That's the biggest thing that right now is giving me a little bit of heebie-jeebies. It's making me worry. Not worry. That's just giving me extra food for thought. So gotta get the guy outside. Get the little bunny bun outside. Oh look, guys, it's snowing again. Let me see if I can spin this around so you can actually see the snow. There you go. Just a little bit of snow, but snowing again. Now, for those that live in more of a bigger city, I would at this particular point, this early on in the scheme of things, if you live in a city, I would start doing some very basic prepping. So what I mean by that is beans and rice, food, easy to make meals that don't require you to go in town and get too many things. Make sure that you're happy with your water source. So if you got city water, you should be fine. If you're somebody that's used to going out and buying a bunch of bottled water, then I would suggest going out and buying some extra bottled water and having extra amounts of that ready to go. But in general, we're just at a basic prepping stage. And the reason I'm suggesting, where did the bunny go? Okay, well, there's not a bunny in here right now. The reason I'm suggesting the basic prepping stage, oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. The reason I'm suggesting the basic prepping stage is because if we get to the point where we see a panic, people are dumb. Like people are really, really dumb. I mean, down here, like if we have a weather scare and people talk about how the weather is going to do something silly, I'll see food and such being ripped off the shelves really quickly here. And so I'm just suggesting now getting ahead of that, getting some of the staples that you like having and that you're used to having, and just having those stuff in place, so it's not something that you have to worry so much about. And what's the big deal? You're probably going to eat this kind of stuff anyway, so you're just buying a little extra today instead of buying it next week or something of that sort. So, bunny, okay. The water container's out there. Silly me, always running around doing 1 million things at the same time. So that's my honest opinion when it comes to that. I've told people, and I know some people don't. I've been corrected on this many times, but I'm still going to be an advocate of this. Is this time of year, if you're going out in public, I always suggest wearing gloves. So leather gloves, cloth gloves, just anything that gives your skin an extra barrier. an extra barrier from the sick that's out there. So, because sometimes I've just noticed with everyday activities that we do, we don't remind you not to touch your face because you can feel gloves on your hand. But two, I don't know. I'm just saying, get a pair of gloves. They're easy to wash. You don't have to use so much Purell because I really on the fence about the use of Purell. I love it, but I have a friend who's a microbiologist who helped develop it and work with it, and she refuses to use it even with her children. So um, that's also very telling to me. I don't, I need to ask her about using it in situations like this, if she would use it during a crisis, a panic, a crisis, a thing like this. She would end up using Purell, or if she had something better. But just those are the reasons I like gloves. I also I'm going to suggest this is also a really good time to just get back in the habit of washing your hands way more often. As often as you think about washing your hands, I would definitely do it. So I think later on this evening, um, because I know that these streams can sometimes be very chaotic with the way I'm feeding the bunnies and asking questions, and my phone and the feed cutting in and out because I know that they do that a lot. I think I'll spend time later today a little bit more research on the Wutang. We'll bring up some videos. We'll bring up some tips, and then I'll also show you guys how to do some apple cider vinegar. We'll do a quick little walkthrough. We're doing apple cider vinegar tonight, and just a couple other things. I've got to go look see if I've got a bottle of cider. If I have a bottle of cider, I can absolutely go through every step that you need to do to make some apple cider vinegar. It's really easy. But we go from there. Okay, bunny, 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 bunny. These guys want some water. Okay, got all the bunnies. Now we're gonna go to the chickens. So I'll warn you guys if you guys want to bail out because it gets. I don't know if you've heard the chicken barn. Sometimes the chicken barn is a little louder than. Well, the chicken is definitely louder than the bunny barn. But you're welcome to bail out then and jump on and watch somebody else do some fun things. I need to make sure I check something real fast. 1 second, guys. I'm notorious for doing this. Oh, it's good. Okay. Into the chicken box. Okay, guys, back into the chicken barn. All of the wonderful chickens. Is that camera still working? Hi, everybody on that camera. Oh, chickens. I'm going to go away for just a second. I need to check something so you guys can watch the chickens do their thing. We'll be right back in about a minute and a half or so. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry if I deafen you because I heard it making some really weird, crazy noises. I don't know why. So I saw if Liz, if you're still watching, hi. I saw you said hi. So okay, good. We're good to go. So okay, I'm back. So because I don't think I've got anything that's related to anything I can cross. Oh, this would be another scenario. We were asking about when I would wear masks. If I felt that I had Wutang, this would be a time I would wear a mask simply because I wouldn't want to get the chicken sick, and that would be a reason That would be a reason why I would be wearing it in the barn, because I know it's not actually going to be able to protect me from anything, but here in the chicken barn, I would view it as something that I didn't want to get the chicken sick. So, as the guineas make unbelievably loud noises in everybody's ears. So, welcome to life on the farm. It is not quiet. It is the opposite of quiet. It is always a loud day, every day here. But that's what's fun. It's always fun to have a nice, loud, crazy day on the farm. So how about you guys out there? Are you guys doing any prepping? Are you guys concerned? Is there anything that any of you guys are doing that you're doing to make the to make you extra careful about the Wutang virus? And are you doing anything to help secure not getting sick? Guinea! It was funny. You guys probably didn't realize this earlier, but I was out talking to you guys, just randomly looking at my phone, talking on my phone, and there's some neighbors staying up the way. They people that do vacation rental. They're up there. I don't know what they were doing, maybe looking at the bunnies and such. And I think they looked at me funny that I was just walking around talking to my phone, because I will tell you that it does look rather interesting when you see somebody holding a phone and they're just loudly talking to the phone. I will say that that is very. It is something that I do find very odd looking. And even though I know I do it, it's still something that will always make me feel a little bit weird and odd doing that. So, oh, that's nothing. Just a YouTube pop-up. I get a couple of those every day. Hey, chickens. Chickens, chickens. By the way, guys, if you're going to homestead, if you're new to this channel and you're going to homestead, I highly suggest starting off with less chickens and less animals than you think you're going to want, because you're naturally going to grow and you're naturally going to end up getting a lot more than what you want. And I will be honest, when you reach a particular point, you can't spend the amount of tension that you will want to spend on them as you used to be able to when you have a smaller flock. Especially if you want to have a distinct relationship with your animals, which I highly suggest having a good relationship with your animals. They'll actually teach you a whole lot about interaction and things of that sort. So, yes, grocery carts. That's a very good point. That's the main reason why I wear gloves, is because of the grocery carts and things of that sort, because they make me grocery carts always make me nervous in the winter. And so we used to, me and Lisa, we used to always get some different types of gloves. And when we would go out to the grocery store, because we only go out once or twice a week, usually only once a week, we would wear gloves just to go out. Plus, it was also kind of like another little dressy thing, just, adding to the pageantry of going to the grocery store once a week. We would make sure we always wear gloves and such. And then as soon as we got home, we would take the gloves and put them in the wash, so that if we were coming in contact with that, we weren't bringing it home. And that's the other thing, and I've mentioned it before, but it's not just when you have all these animals and such, and you're never sure if something's going to cross the human-animal barrier. A lot of diseases, they say don't, but I always prefer to have the precaution. I don't want to be the cause of the new mutation, because maybe I'm an a carrier, and because I'm around all these chickens, my virus that I get crosses into the chickens, and then I get it back, and I've just now did a major mutation of that disease. I would rather not be responsible for that, and so if that just means taking a little extra care of how I'm treating myself and going out and about into the world, I think that that little extra precaution is something that's really easy. Now, I mean, what's great is we don't have outside jobs during the winter months, at least. So the only time we really come in contact with outside folks is during our trips into town to get groceries or supplies that we may happen to need. While I'm over here, guys, if I miss anything that you type, definitely feel free to retype it. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm gone a little longer. I know that my things stay up for about 30 seconds, and sometimes I know I could possibly miss one or two. So, okay, all those. I just got the guys that are up top, so I have to get my stepping stool. Okay. Hi, Sandy. Guys need some food up here. It's so funny. Being that we play a variety of different radio, and sometimes I play Alan Watson here, sometimes we play radio, sometimes I play a variety of stuff. It's always interesting hearing how the chickens react to different music or different voices or things of that sort. It's always intriguing to me. Okay. I'm looking for water now is what I'm doing. We're addressing the water. Those guys need water, so we're going to be on that step next. And all the ducks are telling me that they need water as well. And the humidity is absolutely insane in the barn this time of year. That's one of the things that I've been trying to figure out different ways to address. That's one of the biggest things, because the way we built the barn, it's a wooden pallet barn with tarps on the ceiling, and it's definitely not the most tight building. But I have an exhaust fan in here to do that. But the humidity, like right now, and ducks also. The problem with ducks is ducks bring in humidity because they bring in water and such on their feathers. So there's always trying to figure out. But right now the humidity in here is 89. So it says that that's typical based on this. Based on my little calendar here, that's what it's been for the last few hours. I'd have to look to see how long past the last few hours it's been 89. But while the ducks and such, that's fine. The chickens don't necessarily like that high humidity. And so that's why I always make sure there's fresh hay and try to make sure that the chickens' houses are as dry as possible. Give them water. Always knocking things down, always throwing them around. Okay. We're good to go. Everybody's happy in here. Everybody's got some water, so we're good with that. Let me, I got extra food up here for these guys. Gave Sylvia and everybody some food outside. Let me make sure Ducky's got some food. I need to go update the calendar real fast, so let's swing on over to the calendar. So I try to keep the calendar up to date with all the latest important information that we need to know what's going on in the barn. And there's a couple little updates today. So I'm actually going to stick you guys right here for just a minute. Maybe right here. Nope, you'll fall back there. All right, well, you guys get to be right here. You guys get to sit there right there while I update the calendar, because there's no other way I can really hold it. What is today? Today is the 30th. Okay. I think we lost another chicken this week, but or earlier this month, but I don't remember. So, okay, guys, let's see. All the chickens are fed, and all that's good to go. Everybody outside has got some snacky snacks. Now I need to address the second. I need to get my gloves because I need to address the second part of what I need to do today, and that is I need to get some duct tape or some other stuff. And I need to gently. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to use baling twine because I think it'll be a lot easier. And I'm just going to carefully wrap all of my trees with some cardboard just for, I don't know, it's what I think I want to do. It might not be the best option, but it's what I'm going to do right now until I can get somebody, until someone gives me a little bit better idea of what to do to handle some of it. So I got, and I need to cut some scythe wood. But let's see, I'm going to need I'm probably going to need about 4 decent pieces of cardboard so I can wrap all the trees decently. I'm wrapping them with cardboard just because I got cardboard, but also because I think that could slow down the bunnies from being able to chew on it. This is purely nothing more than an experiment. I'm not advising this to anyone. This is not something I would suggest doing because I don't have any idea if this is actually going to work. This is purely just an experiment to see what I think my opinion is going to be on this. So we got a bunch of cardboard over here. Good thing is I always have an excess of cardboard. So let's see. Get a nice excess. I prefer cardboard that doesn't have a lot of writing and such on it. Here's a nice good piece of cardboard I can make work. And here's another good piece of cardboard. It's got a little writing on it, but I'll just do it on the outside. So we'll walk over. I'll show you guys what's happening. You know, I'm actually gonna, this might be a really bad idea too, but I'm gonna take this because I know where this came from. And I'm actually gonna wrap this around first before I do the cardboard. So we will see, again, if these trees don't make it, it sucks because they were some of my good fruit trees, but it's It's always important to learn lessons on the farm. And one of the things that's why this is my lab is this is where I'm supposed to learn. I have this set up so I can learn all the important lessons. And so that is the idea behind what we're doing here, is to always learn something new. So I'm gonna start off with the smaller trees first. So I'm gonna use this, that'll stay here. We're gonna start off with the smaller trees first. I have 2 fruit trees right here. Let me show you how bad they got into eating this fruit tree, this smaller one. This one I'm not holding my breath that I'll be able to save because they grinded this guy down like hardcore. I mean, you can really see the grooves. You can really see the grooves. I mean, this is like beaver type status. So I'm not gonna hold my breath that that particular one is going to do anything, which is fine. But what we're gonna do here is, let me spin the camera back around. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to use this little bit of paper that I have, and I'm going to wrap the tree with this, with the idea that maybe I can keep it moist, because I've read some stuff online on how to possibly fix this. So I'm going to wrap this tree just like so, and then I'm also going to put some cardboard around it. And the idea behind this is going to be to keep it moist, so that maybe there's a chance that I'll be able to fix it. And then let me get this open, and then I'll wrap this around. I'll wrap this around this tree. Let's see, I'd probably cut it right there in half. Will be a good amount. And we're gonna see if this actually, if this plan of action, we'll talk about this in the spring, because there's also another trick I read that you can do. And like I told you, I need to talk to a bunch of people that know more about trees and such online too, that might tell me that this is the most horrible idea that I possibly could come up with. But this is based on my limited knowledge of trees, and what I am going to do immediately. And I need to go get some, actually right here, need to go get some twine. So let's go grab a bunch of twine so I can wrap some twine around that. So that's the little tree. Those are the ones that everything I'm reading online, I don't think I can save, unfortunately, because, damn bunnies. But whatever. So be life. They're just being bunnies. They're just doing what they're supposed to do, and that's survive and live in the winter. So I can't hate them for that. I mean, I could. I'm not going to. I'm the one that let them out. I'm the one that told them they could go play in the yard. So I'm the human. So I have to take responsibility for the silliness that they do. This tree is a young tree though, so maybe, and if not, no. So the next thing I'm going to do is, after I wrapped that around, I'm going to try to get it a little bit tighter. So that's why I got the twine. I need it to breathe a little bit, but on the same aspect, I don't want the bunnies to be able to get in here and do anything. So we're going to try this. Since, you'll find out when you homestead, especially if you end up doing hay, you'll find out that there's one thing that you'll always have an excess amount, and you'll for some reason find a way to always use it, and that is baling twine. And baling twine is like going to be your best friend, because man, is baling twine super useful. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Hopefully, hope that didn't screw up anything. But this is my first attempt. Let me bring this up a little bit higher just so I got it wrapped around. I think I'm happy. I think I'm happy with that for now. So, oh, okay. So let me show you. Let me show you what's going on. So here's the first one that they did, and again, it's pretty much all the way around. I'm working on some ideas with this one. So I've read somewhere that I can probably like between because there's some spots here and some spots there. I might be able to cut some branches, do some jumpers in the spring. But we will see. I'll show you my tactic on what I'm trying right now and get your opinion. So here's the first tree. This is the first tree I just attempted to do some surgery on. I'll show you the next little tree. I'll show you what I did on this tree with the next tree. Guys, this is Yumi. You should definitely check out his site. He shares some really awesome stuff on the internet. Yeah. Yikes is probably a good thing. Here's this little tree. The good thing is there's still a little bit of spots where it's not always gone on this tree. So I'm gonna address this one next. So let me put the camera over here, and I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing, and you can tell me that it's a horrible idea, or you can be like, yeah, dude, the tree's already gone, so whatever you try, it's not a big deal. Okay, cool. Let me turn it upside down so we can get it this way then. Okay, so what I'm doing with these smaller trees, just to slow it down a little bit, is I've got some like construction paper, wet construction paper, and I'm just wrapping the wet construction paper around, trying to keep the tree moist, trying to keep the branch moist and such like that. So that's what I'm doing here. These are all the good thing is these are all apple trees. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing, but that's what these are. These are all apple trees. So, and again, if I lose them, I'm not super sad. I mean, I think that these are in very important. I'd rather view these as very important lessons that I've learned than to be super angry about anything else. So what I'm doing here is, if you saw, I put the construction paper around. I'm wrapping the cardboard around. I'm using baling twine to tie this on, and the idea behind this is to get it through the winter, being able to stay moist and to be able to slow the bunnies down. Okay, that makes sense. Take it off once a month. Yeah, that's easy to do. Um, so this is just my crazy experiments. So yeah, well, in the summer I've got some in the summer, Yumi, in the summer I was going to get some of that. They have some like tree wax and such that I was going to put on it, that I read some good things about the tree wax. So I might try that more in the summer months. Yeah, this is all caused by my rabbits, 100%. So this is a byproduct of letting my rabbits run around in my yard that I did not think about. So yeah, this was the last thing that crossed my mind when I thought about letting those rabbits run around in my yard. I was not expecting them to come out here and decide to eat everything. So now you guys know, you guys have a direct, a direct idea of what rabbits, of how damaging rabbits can possibly be for your homestead. So if you have them, you'll need to make sure you make some decent decisions on how you're going to let them run around and such. Okay. No, I will. Again, when it comes to that, I'll be honest, dude, I'll be picking your brain when it comes to what kind of pruning stuff I should buy. I'm not normally a pruner. I don't normally prune any of my trees. So when I ask for that kind of information, that is because I decided I need somebody that knows a little bit about something, because I like the idea of trying to do things as natural as possible and let nature kind of deal with it. That's part of the reason why I'm not as worried about with this, is because this was my fault, and this is just a thing that nature does. And if these trees want to survive and these trees want to be able to thrive, then they've got to be able to. No, you are absolutely right. So what I was told, Yumi, let me get a branch. So what I was told is I can get a scythe, I can get a cutting here, and I can cut, like, if I got a cutting off the tree, I cut there and cut there, and then between the two areas from bark to bark, be able to put it in an arch. Can't see really well what I'm trying to do, but put it in an arch like that, and that can sometimes, they said that sometimes with older trees that can it's like a grafting, that can sometimes save the tree. They said not always, but it is a tactic that you can try. So that is, but they said you can't do that until you get sap flow. And so I won't get sap flow until at least probably April here. So I'm prepping this. I'm gonna cut some branches. Wait, no, that makes yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I probably will. Again, yes, that's the idea, is I want to be able to get that. I want to be able to get that, the at least some of the new growth started and some of the surge growths, and pick which one, and then really just protect the heck out of that one, so I don't completely lose the this particular species. But I am definitely, again though, why I'm happy that this happened is because I wanted to learn this before I go buy a couple hundred trees. And if this happened on like four or five of my fruit trees, so I can actually readdress the other ones before it gets to this particular point. So again, like I said, I'm happy that I'm happy in some ways that this happened, because this is a very important lesson of stuff I've never known. But I'm sad because, like, this particular tree I'm wrapping right now is my Arkansas Black, and it's one of my favorite apple trees that I have. This little guy produces a whole lot of, well, he used to produce a whole lot of apples. So no, man, but thanks for so I thank you a lot for coming in and just giving me some advice and taking a look. It's all about, okay. Well, good, because I don't prune anyways, so that's an easy one. I can totally stay away from pruning. The one thing I found really interesting though is that these guys, the rabbits came in there, and they actually ate the staghorn sumac trees as well. I was really surprised that they came in here like here's where they you can see where they came here and really started going off on the stag. I'm not worried about these trees at all. I mean, this tree you're looking at right here, this is just this particular one, this is just 2 years worth of growth. These guys come back super fast. But my fruit trees, on the other hand, those are the ones I was a little sad about. So this guy I tried to wrap the other day. Luckily though, this one I will tell you that this one I'm a little bit less concerned because they didn't get to grind this one all the way around. They only got about this particular part of the tree. So it's a really bad scar. It's a really bad scar, but I might be out. This tree might be savable because they only got this little bit right there. So I don't know. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of cool. I guess it's kind of cool that I had such a different reaction on all the different trees, so that I get to try some different experiments on each and every one of them and see how it all works out. But I would have much rather this not happen, to be honest. But it's good to. I think it's really good that it's a good lesson for me, and I'm also super thankful that I have folks that are following me now, like you, that can help reassure me that even if this is not going to work, this is still a decent tactic to try. So, anyways, thanks, man. Are you still streaming, or are you going to be doing any more streaming this evening? If you are, make sure you type in exclamation point UMI. No, absolutely. I just want to get this in. I just want to get this particular stage in for the winter, and so the bunnies stop continuing on here. And then as soon as April or something, as soon as April comes around, I'm going to readdress this with a whole different tactic and see if I can try the other tactic I want, and if that will make any difference and such. So that's kind of what is kind of my idea of what I'm shooting for. No more baling twine. Let me go grab some more. Here, I'll do it for you. Guys, make sure you check out his channel. It's awesome. There's a link to it. He's not only is he super helpful for me. Why is that not working today? Now just click on his name. If it's not working, just click on his name. Oh, because I spelled it wrong. I spelled uni. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, there's the link I was wanting it to do. Yeah, no. So you said I could have a really good fruiting year. I've somebody else has said that as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably just gonna have to. Realistically, what I'm gonna do now that this has happened, what I'm probably gonna do in the spring is I'm probably just gonna buy a bunch of. I'm just probably gonna buy a bunch of fruit trees, and I'm gonna put them someplace that I don't let the bunnies go. And then just focus and kind of focus, instead of focusing necessarily on the lab, start a whole fruit tree orchard someplace a little different, so I can really focus on making sure I have good quality trees that produce the fruit and such that I need them to produce with and then trying to address some of this this bunny load problem that I have with making sure that I have some other types of fruits and such. Because I had a problem similar to this not too long ago with deer and such that I addressed, that I found other ways to address, but I just didn't think anything about the bunnies. So okay, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put this back on here just to give a little extra. So yeah, guys, Yumi, thanks for your help and your advice. I got one more tree I want to try to save because it's a Chicopee chestnut that it naturally grew here, so I didn't plant it, but I would like to see if I can convince it to not die. And it's only been mildly chewed, so at least last I looked, yeah, it's not too awful bad. So I could, yeah, absolutely, that is true. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here on the lab that I'd really like to try and such. So every year something crazy different happens. As I've said before, never let a good disaster go to waste. And so learning something is as long as I learn something every time I do this and try to improve everything I do and get better. Huh. Okay. Yeah. I will I will try that. That's some interesting thoughts. Again, I'm all about that's the whole purpose of my lab here and the whole purpose of my nonprofit is just to learn, is to try different tactics, learn tactics from folks and give advice so that if folks need help in the future, we've came up with some different ideas on how to improve or make things better, or I don't know, something. Keep life in the righteous zone. Yes. Plus, life would be boring if everything turned out the way you wanted to every day. If you never had a challenge, then life would be pretty boring. I like I like these challenges and trying to figure out how to solve new crazy crises that I've maybe made myself. And new ways to use baling twine and cardboard. The ultimate in recycling. So yeah, thanks for again, thanks so much for coming in and just popping in and answering my question and taking a quick look in of me doing a crazy tree surgery wrapping. Yes, I will. Yeah, well, we all will. We'll all of us together, and with the help and such, it's all. Honestly, I'll be honest. Like the biggest lesson I've learned is gonna save me tons of money with this because if I at one particular point thought that there was no negative value to having bunnies run around in your yard, other than that to have a raised garden bed, and now that this has happened, I know that this is something to absolutely consider when it comes to bunnies and such in the future. And so putting putting fencing and such around trees is definitely going to help when I designed new particular different areas and such. So lesson learned. And I'm not out none of what am I out in trees? 100 or so dollars in trees. That's not that's honestly nothing when it comes to the scheme of things. So let me see if they address this tree. Okay. So they didn't get this little tree. They might get this. They started nibbling on this guy, so I'm going to address this guy next. But yeah, so you know, I'll make up that $100 in crypto with just a little extra, with a little extra focus on crypto this week. It just gives me another another idea to make sure I focus on making sure my crypto is making me money and and then as soon as my crypto makes me some money, turning that crypto into trees, because that's what I'll do this particular week. So it's just a you know little fire under my ass to get me to do some stuff that I probably should have been doing a lot more. Cool. Have fun, dude. I will see you around when you're. I'll look for your stream next time and jump in and we can chit chat some more. But again, thank you so much for all of your help. Super, super helpful. I very much appreciate it. Yes, crypto into trees. How spectacular is that? Okay, guys, I gotta wrap one more tree with some twine, and I'm at 9. When we make it, I'm not gonna turn off the feed. I'll just let my phone die if that ends up happening. But we'll see. I've got one more tree. I gotta give Sylvia just a little bit more snacky snack because she told me she's still a little hungry. So I'm gonna give her just a little bit more snacky snack. Gonna wrap that last tree. Then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna jump in and plug the phone and such. So. 7. Yeah, this phone usually dies at 5. So I'm not holding my breath at this particular point that we'll make it. Actually, what I'll do, give it another possible chance. Okay, got a little possible chance of seeing if we can make it to the end. If anyways, friends, if I miss it, thank you guys for jumping in. It's wonderful talking with you guys today. It was a great day. We had awesome, great conversations. For those who want to see Sylvia, there's Sylvia saying hi to everyone. Really, she's just eating because she's hungry. I'm going to get this other baling twine. I'm going to wrap my little plum tree. But yeah, friends, thanks for joining me on this fun adventures. It was great. Learned a lot. Actually did learn a lot today. And yeah. So I don't normally like to let my phone die, but I really want to get this tree wrapped because if I don't get it wrapped now, I'll forget about my ADD will kick in and I'll forget that I'm supposed to wrap this tree and it'll just end up being bad. So I just focus on this now. Okay. Tree is wrapped. Now we're heading into the house. So anyways, friends, thanks for joining me on this fun adventure on the farm today. Lots of craziness, lots of stuff I was not expecting to see. But because of all you guys' help, we were able to achieve awesomeness. So I'm heading in. It's the Baron, Justin, Dr. Firefly. You have yourself a wonderful rest of the day. And till tomorrow, 15:45 every day. Feed the chickens. Till then, talk to you guys later. Adios.